Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome to the channel. I'm Michelle and I hope that you're going to enjoy all the content that is on this channel. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I believe you already should, I've been sharing with you guys my journey as far as kind of growing and both building my business, which is my beauty bar in Roodepoort. And I've been interacting with a lot of you guys in the DMs, so I thought today let me actually do a video where I'm sharing with you guys 6 things that I am currently learning. So for context's sake, I have had my other previous events and marketing company in the past, which I've run as a side hustle for quite a long time, and then eventually went full-time in it, but like not all the way in anyway. So the beauty bar is currently one of the first businesses I'm running like consistently, all in, present, the whole thing from start, and it's just been a different experience altogether. You guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing with you guys this, just my fatigue, my tiredness, and just what's actually happening. So I just want to share these tips with you guys, and hopefully to kind of inspire or help somebody that wants to get into it or that is already into it, just also so you guys kind of have a bit of context on how these things are, because it's not all glamour, it's not all boss babe and everything is amazing. So I wrote them on my phone and I'm just gonna kind of read them out. So if you see me looking through my phone, just know I'm kind of looking through those notes. So 6 things. Let's start with number 1. The first thing I actually noted down was that believe in yourself so you can believe in what you're building, and so that you can be able to build with confidence. One of the greatest things I've realized is I think every single person suffers from self-doubt. All of us do get to a point where we really don't believe that we can do whatever we're doing. Or sometimes if you're anything like me, you start something and then all the way in you're just like, shucks, what have I done? Am I going to be able to even like go through this and do it the way that it's supposed to be done? And I've just really learned that as long as you're constantly doubting yourself excessively, and I say excessively because the self-doubt is kind of always going to be there, but when it happens excessively, then you've got a problem. So if you're going to constantly doubt yourself excessively, you're going to doubt the decisions that you make. But because self-doubt is like a real thing, when you continue to doubt yourself excessively, it makes it hard for you to make decisions. Even the Bible talks about a man who's double-minded. Doubt means that you're double-minded. It means that you're stuck between making different decisions. And what I've really learned in business is you need to be able to back yourself and be confident in the decisions that you're making. Otherwise, you are not going to make any decisions at all, or you're going to make decisions and then not even feel good about them or not even back yourself up. So you'll make a decision today about like a system or a policy or whatever it is, or whatever service that you want to give, and then 2 days later, probably because it's got a few glitches, you change it, you don't actually refine it. So that's one of the biggest things that I've learned. Build with confidence, believe in yourself. And I think it just goes hand in hand, because it also enables you to kind of stand your ground whenever your decisions are being challenged, because that is your baby, you wanting to build that as big as it gets. And then the second one is it's okay to be tired and want to rest. Don't be hyped by the hustle culture. Ooh, this is a big one. So if you are anything like me, you're on YouTube following entrepreneurs, talking to different people, and just following the people that kind of give you enough motivation, enough zeal to kind of move forward and like be the boss girl, the boss person that you think you are. And one of the biggest glitches that I think I fell into a few months ago was falling into the hustle culture. The hustle culture is this culture of grind, and no rest. I am for it. I breathe it. I love it. It just encourages you to go. But when you become excessive and when you fall into it excessively, it becomes so difficult to almost kind of strike an attainable balance. I say attainable because sometimes balance is not a real thing. However, when you fall into the hustle culture, it starts making it a bit more difficult for you to rest. So I go through that right now, where every time I decide to take like an off day and like sit down and relax and not do any work, I can't. It's really, really bad. I really can't. I struggle to, and I feel like I should be doing something. And I literally had this conversation with my mentor until I realized that, wait a minute, I've fallen into the hustle culture, and it's just made me robotic in my work ethic and everything that I do. And I've just been learning that it is okay to rest. It is literally okay to rest and not even feel the pressure of trying to do something or trying to, like, I used to have moments where every time I'm watching other creators videos on YouTube, I don't feel like it doesn't inspire me anymore, but it just makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. That literally, like, I could be sitting around just watching random videos, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing enough. These people are posting like 4 videos a week. I'm only doing 2. I'm only doing 1. I need to do enough. And then my mind starts wanting to get to work because I feel like I'm just not doing enough, and I'm just slowly kind of letting that go. So that's my lesson number 2, that it is okay to rest. It is like, it makes sense. Don't be hyped by the hustle culture. I think only do what is attainable to you. Like, you know the goals that you want to achieve. Like, you know where you want to take a business. You know where you want to take your YouTube channel, whatever the case is. And it's important that you kind of work at your pace. If your pace is fast, there's still nothing wrong with that. It is okay to still rest in that fast pace. If your pace is moderate or whatever it is okay to calm down and rest within that pacing. So number 3 is big. Number 3 has made me cry so many times, and that is that your team will never be passionate about your vision. This is difficult. This is very difficult, because every time you have a vision board and every time you have a dream, the idea is you're trying to get people that are passionate about whatever it is that you are doing in your life. You're trying to get them there so that you can kind of, it's almost like, so you can sort of they can sort of run with it and kind of help you develop your vision. And I listened to an interview that Gary Vaynerchuk was doing quite a while ago, and one of the biggest things he said is that they can never be passionate about your vision and about your goals because it's not theirs, it is yours. And I kind of thought to myself, how selfish is it to want people to be passionate about what you are passionate about, when these are individual people that God has created that have their own dreams, their own visions, and their own aspirations that they want to do in life. So one of the things that I've learned is to not wish and not push for them to be passionate about my vision, but to tap into their strengths within whatever it is that they're passionate about, because somehow it kind of makes sense. It's like placing somebody correctly in your organization. So for instance, if you've got somebody, I was one of those employees that just generally loves talking. This is somebody that enjoys talking. They enjoy having meaningful conversation. They enjoy like person-to-person relationships and communicating. You don't want to put that person in your finance department, right? You tap into whatever they're passionate about. So if you know that Michelle is passionate about, like Michelle loves engaging, building relationships, you put her on a post or in a position that allows her to do that, because only then you start tapping into whatever she is passionate about for your advantage. But you stop kind of trying to lead people to be passionate about your dream, because it really isn't. It's not theirs. It is yours. They have their own dream, and you are just part of them working to whatever it is that they're passionate about. So that is a really important lesson, because I remember I have cried so many times because people didn't do things the way that I would have wanted them to do it, or the way that I would have done it, mainly because it's just my dream. It's my responsibility to communicate, but make sure that I tap into their passion, and I kind of lead into and align it to what I want and the results I'm trying to get into my organization at that point in time. So that was really powerful. And the 4th one is educate yourself. This is very important. And when we say educate yourself, we don't necessarily talk about getting a degree. That is also important if you're in a field that requires something like that, or you feel like that degree or that diploma, whatever it is, that certificate is going to advance your skills and is going to kind of advance your paperwork as far as building that dream is concerned. Absolutely perfect. But one of the greatest ways in these days to educate yourself is basically reading the right books. It's listening to podcasts. It is watching YouTube videos. It is engaging with posts on Instagram, on Twitter, and all the social media platforms that you are in. But like we say all the time, curating the right environment for you to build, curating the right space for you to be able to learn. So be constantly wanting to educate yourself about your field. If you are in business, well, if you are in business in beauty, which is currently where I am right now, right, it is imperative that you start reading books about businesses like that. You start following people that are in similar businesses for inspiration to learn, to also educate yourself, especially people that have done it so well and are so successful at it. You definitely need to be following those people, engaging in their posts, learning. But it is important that you educate yourself, because what you don't know today will not help you today, right? So but what you know today is only going to help you today. So it is really important that you educate yourself. Make a conscious decision to actually educate yourself. Like, take online courses, whatever the case is. I always make sure that on a daily basis I either watch a YouTube video, a podcast, or just a book, whatever, but I make sure that on a daily basis I am doing something, even if it's for like 30 minutes or an hour, to educate myself in whatever fields that I'm currently investing my time and energy in. So when you do something like that, you are actually going to advance your skills. There's a saying that says it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. You only accumulate those 10,000 hours on a daily basis. You can't want to accumulate them over 20 years, because look at that time, it's gone. By the time you reach those 10,000 hours, things have shifted, people have moved, trends have even moved. But if you try to accumulate your 10,000 hours within a reasonable amount of time, it's easier for you to kind of catch up and be where you want to be at the right time. Because one thing I'm also noticing a lot is that trends change. Like influencing and being a digital content creator wasn't a thing 10 years ago, right? And it is a thing now, but we don't know where it's going to go 10 years from now. So you want to maximize and gain your 10,000 hours today, so that you can maximize today and do today to the best of your ability. Number 5. Number 5 is seek help. You don't have to do it alone. One of the biggest things about being a boss babe or a boss person or whatever the case is we kind of always want to have it together. Because the world thinks you have it together, you kind of sort of feel the pressure to have it together. And I have just learned in my journey that I don't have to do it alone. I can ask for help. And when I mean ask for help, it's like asking for advice, trying to sit down with someone saying, listen, I'm struggling with this, how can I maneuver it? And sometimes it's not even always asking for help from like mentors, it's asking for help for people that are in your industry. If you own a beauty bar like myself, it's important for me to ask help from somebody who owns a beauty bar possibly bigger than mine, because they have far much more experience and I can get guidance in all the things that I need to do. But asking for help is definitely just like seeking help is a life principle that I believe that you cannot live without and you need to begin to invest in. And then the 6th one, which is the final one, is that motivation is not enough. It really is not enough. And it's so interesting because you wake up every single morning looking for motivation to do it. And I hear a lot of sayings that talk about like do what you love and you feel like you won't have to work a day in your life. I agree to disagree with those statements, mainly because I think we are more frustrated by the things that we love more than we are by the things that we actually hate. Like the things that don't give us value, the things that don't do much for us don't bother us at all. But the things that are super important are the things that give us a sleepless night, are the things that make us feel worn out, that make us feel really tired, even though there's still like an element of joy and an element of fulfillment within it all, but they are very tiring. And sometimes motivation only is not enough. You need a whole lot, like you need a combo of things to become the entrepreneur that's going to build that business and make sure that it actually works. Now, one of the things that I normally do is I wake up every morning sometimes, well, not every morning, but I wake up majority of the mornings seeking and looking for motivation. It's like, what today, like what's going to be my pillar today whenever I feel XYZ. But one of the biggest things that I've realized is it has to do with your foundation. What is your foundation when you are building that business? And that's the reason why I noted this down to say motivation is not enough. You need foundation. Foundation says even if today is not going so well, or even if I don't feel so great, or even if I'm not motivated today, there is a foundation that enables me to stand on something, right? And I found that very important in terms of just moving along to being the person that you're called to be, or to building whatever it is that you're called to build. Because when you have that foundation, you kind of know, it's like your why. I think some people would actually call it that. It's like your why. You need to have that. You need to have that, and it needs to be bigger than you can imagine, mainly because when all else fails, that's the only thing that's going to stand. When the business is not making money, you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out why you started and why you need to continue. You know, is your why big enough? Is your why good enough for you to withstand? Because guys, the honest truth is, I think building a business in this day and age, or being an entrepreneur, has been glamorized to like the boss people and this and this and this. But the realities of it all is just building a proper, lucrative, sustainable business is hard. It is difficult. It is sleepless nights. You cry. It's lonely. You get a lot of anxiety. You get in a lot of financial trouble. That's just the nature of it. It is really just that difficult, and you need a lot of things. You need support system. That's why you need to be able to seek for help. And something about it at the end of it all is beautiful, and you can, it's rewarding. That's actually the right word. It is rewarding. And for me, it's been such a great pleasure, even though it's been exhausting, even though it had a lot of tears. And I look forward to looking back at this video a year from now and learning a lot more things, or months from now, because it's continuously a journey. It's continuously what am I learning today? How can I do more? How can I be more, etc., etc. And that is important, that we constantly are learning. So that's really it from from me today. It's just these tips that I wanted to share with you guys. If you are an entrepreneur, please make sure you follow me on Instagram or all my social media platforms, and let me know in the comment section below, what are you learning? Let's feed off each other and all those lessons, because I am so keen to learn as much as I can, because I think learning prevents you from making a lot of silly mistakes and a lot of mistakes that you could have actually prevented. Not that you're not going to make mistakes, but it kind of helps you prevent the silly ones, the other mistakes that other people have made, you know. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys are learning, and possibly what in this video actually spoke to you the most. But with all of that said, I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.